Not sure if you've noticed, but a little different down in Foxborough this year. Brand new coaching staff, quarterbacks entering his second NFL season. Locker room has new leaders and new blood. That got Tom E. Curran thinking about a half dozen, take it to the bank, dead mortal lock reasons the Patriots team will be better than last year. He wrote about it on NBCSportsBoston.com. Here are his 6 reasons. That's a half dozen. New broom swept clean. That refers to the Patriots moving on from many of the team's leaders with ties to the Patriots. Leading from the middle, Curran thinks the Patriots' front 7, and more specifically their defensive front, has the potential to make a massive leap this year. A wagon of a coaching staff, that's self-explanatory. Shut down secondary with as much as we've made about the front 7. The back end of the Patriots defense has been somewhat overlooked. Plus a breezy schedule. Home games in particular aren't a word cinchy. That is Curran's word. That is not ours. And finally, Curran has been preaching about this for years, the return of urgency. Well, if we're talking about Curran's article, you know that he's here along with Mike Giardi from Boston Sports Journal. Number one reason the Patriots are going to be better this year on that list. Is it the first one you started with, coaching?
Yeah, well, before that I had the leadership changeover, but it is coaching. And the main reason I did this is really we have been saying new and improved every season since 2021. Like Phil and I found a video from 2022. The first training camp central, Phil and I talked about the vibes and the energy of the 2022 Patriots and Mac Jones ready to make a leap because Bill said he was. That didn't work out. 2023, Bill O'Brien comes back ready to make a leap. 2024, we held our breath. They win a game against Cincy. They show up against Seattle. New vibes, new energy, didn't work out. So I really wanted to scrutinize it, but I do think it's the coaching staff because you had DeMarcus Covington in his first year as a defensive coordinator, Jeremy Springer, his first year as a coordinator, Gerard, obviously, his first year as a head coach, offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt had never had both roles as offensive coordinator and play caller. Now we're looking at a fleet of guys who aren't just multiple years into the roles that they have, but they've been coordinators, including a passing game coordinator in Thomas Brown, who's been an offensive coordinator elsewhere. The wide receivers coach, Todd Dunn, he's been an offensive coordinator for 2 or 3 years. Last year, they didn't even have a guy who was coaching wide receivers who'd coached in the NFL.
Massive improvement.
That's my biggest reason, but I think there's a lot of other ones that have good underpinning.
So this is the thing I've come back to the entirety of the offseason. The moment that they hired Mike, and I think we thought the moment they moved on from Gerard that this was where they were going to go, and it was the right place to go. He has given them direction that they had been lacking, and it wasn't just last year. It was the last couple of years of Bill, too. So they have a guy now who knows what he wants. He knows how to get it. He's a proven track record. And, look, it wasn't awesome in Tennessee, but there was a 3-year period where it was pretty awesome. I think he's grown from that experience as well. So to me, having him in place changes everything that you think about from this football team. And it was, to Tom's point, if I can use it, the sweeping everything clean, too. It wasn't just the leadership. It was like, this guy's bringing in his own style, and they're going to do it this way.
But was it necessary to completely clean house when it came to players? Did you have to get rid of David Andrews? Did you have to get rid of Joe Cardona?
I'd say this. The reason I mention that is, and it's not that Joe Cardona, a Navy veteran, isn't an unbelievable leader, or David Andrews didn't come out there as the human victory cigar and take all the assailing for 3 years as the first guy leaving the field after 3 hours and listen to our questions about why do you guys still stink. They did an unbelievable job by and large, but they moved on from all of them. And I think that part of the reason they needed to do that was to have a clean break with the past, whether it be Bill or Gerard, because these guys are worn down and battle weary. And you don't want somebody, if you're going to come in, turn the page, say we're not doing it that way anymore, whether it's Mayo's way or Bill's way, and have them go, all right, we'll see how this goes.
Yes.
They're world weary. Sometimes when you've seen a lot of change and you've gone through a lot of crap and somebody else comes in, you might have a hard time getting on board, which I think was Drew Bledsoe's problem when when Bill Belichick came in. I think that was a big thing with him. He was going on his 5th offensive coordinator. He was world weary at 28.
Yeah, I think it also speaks to the fact that not only do they get rid of all these guys, Tom, but then there's a lot of connections to Mike's past in Tennessee. And they're not necessarily all big names. Rice is here, Monty Rice, Jack Gibbons, Dr. Gibby, but they're guys that I know what it's like to play for, even Spillane. I know what it's like to play for Mike. And maybe it's been a year, maybe it's been a couple years since I did, but I know what his plan is. And so now he has some guys in the locker room and say, look, he's being hard on us right now, but if you do this thing, it's going to go in the right direction. I saw it up close and personal. So to me, I think that also kind of played into the whole role of sweeping those guys out.
So the Patriots, one of the things they did this offseason was spend a fair amount of money on the defensive side of the ball. We've seen them, though, spend money on free agents in the past, and it hasn't worked out. Why is this year going to be different?
I think they got some high-character football players for starters. I think it's going to be a more aggressive system that these players, Milton Williams and Robert Spillane, the linebacker in particular, fit into. So to me, like, it wasn't like they didn't try to spend on offense. I think had they had their druthers, they would have spent a ton of money on Ronnie Stanley and Chris Godwin. $30 million a year for Godwin. Couldn't get those guys. So, okay, we're shut out in this part of it. Where are the best players? Well, it's Milton Williams. It's Robert Spillane. It's some of these guys, Carlton Davis. Go get them. So they had a quick plan to pivot. They did, and they brought in some good football players that should benefit them.
I also think it's going to extract not just the guys they brought in, but the messaging is going to extract more from Christian Barmore and Keon White than clearly Keon White felt he was getting last year from Mayo and the defensive staff. Clearly, Christian Barmore, I think as time goes by, seems to be maturing. I mean, he had just, for what it's worth, a tremendous May. He looked unbelievable compared to where he did, to where he was. Milton Williams is there at every OTA. We made a big deal about Carlton Davis and Stephon Diggs and their absences. To see the amount of attendance they had, it's, to Mike's point, it's, I think, Vrabel getting to these guys and saying, we're going to pay you a crap ton, but we're going to expect you to be here.
Tommy, where does Drake May fall on the list of reasons why they'll be better?
I'm not positive about the offense. I cannot include the offense as a guaranteed dead mortal lock it's going to be better, because I can't trust the interior offensive line to a point that I say that's fine. I can't trust the wide receivers. I can't trust that in his second year, a turnover-prone player who too frequently leaves the field, I've said this before, with fewer points than the opponent, is somebody that I can definitely say he's going to be better. Do I presume he's going to be better? Do I presume he at some point is going to be a Pro Bowl level quarterback? I do. I'm not sure it's going to happen right away. I know those other things, as much as I can, are going to happen.
Yeah, no, I like that you brought this up or didn't include him in the piece, and we're talking about him now, is that I think so many people just naturally assume that Drake is going to ascend. And I think he has all the talent. I think there's everything there that you want in a franchise quarterback from a physical standpoint. We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen it all come together. We haven't seen him leave the field with more points than the other team, all but one time. You know, only one time last year did that happen, where he was the quarterback from start to finish, that he left and he was a winner. Two other times it was Jacoby Brissett having to bail him out because of injury or what have you. So to me, we make it like it's an assumption. He's still got to go do it. He hasn't done it yet.
All right, we'll see if he can do it in just a few short weeks of training camp. For more on Curran's article, check out the latest Patriots Talk podcast. You can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can find it on your favorite podcasting app or on YouTube.